I can't read the LA Times. They've gotten to the point in the last 10 years where it's just so, their bias against Israel is just so horrible, you know? It's like every single day, it was like the beginning of the war like 10 years ago. A missile would come over and kill a whole bunch of Israeli kids, and the front page of the LA Times would be a picture of one Palestinian who got killed. You know, and the green and the red flags. You never saw an Israeli on the front page. And I just said, you know, I can't take it anymore. I said, stop sending that paper. I used to get it delivered here. I said, stop. And I got it because of the sports. But I won't give that paper a dime anymore. I'm done. Well, you know what I'm saying?
Charlie Sheen, what do you think?
Charlie Sheen? I talked about this on my Facebook. I really think that, I mean, my whole opinion changed of this guy and the whole scene. I walked into Walgreens last week. I walked into Walgreens, and I saw Boom, the People magazine, the new cover, and it had like Colin Firth and like people who won the pushed way over to the side, and it was all Charlie Sheen. This guy, unbelievable. People magazine's biggest cover of the year, right? I mean, it's like the Academy Awards, like the biggest event in Hollywood. They're all shoved over to the side. You can't name who was Best Actress this last year. You can't name her, right?
Natalie Portman.
You ruined my story. Oh, because you have a crush on her, that's why. Right, but I mean, it's like, who do you think is going to get more? If you were a talk show, who would you rather have right now? Charlie Sheen or Colin Firth? Or the director of King's Speech, whoever he is?
I think Charlie Sheen would be more entertaining.
Of course, because this guy's the biggest name in Hollywood right now. It's like this guy has become so big, he's like bigger than life. He's like become like this huge entity, right? He's become like, he's made himself bigger than the Academy Awards. He's made himself that they now have to compete with him for airtime. This guy has sucked all of the air out of the entertainment space. You know, it's like if you're going to have one Twitter account, you're going to sign up to Charlie Sheen, right? If you're going to have time for one guest on your show, it's going to be Charlie Sheen. This guy has taken over everything. This guy is Mr. Entertainment. You know what it's tantamount to? The only thing I think that I've seen that's ever been like this, I was watching the NBA Finals, right? And it was the New York Knicks versus Houston Rockets in '94, and OJ started his
and he
pushed.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, he pushed the whole.
He
pushed the whole NBA Finals off the TV, and you're watching OJ's car. You know, and I'm like, this guy sucked all the air out of the room, right? He sucked all the air out of the room. Now all it is OJ 24/7, right? And the ratings for his trial were gigantic based on that. Like it just carried over for a year. Charlie Sheen right now should commit a crime so that we can watch him every day. I mean, this guy is so big. And I was thinking about this when I saw that thing on people. I said, it's possible that this is all real. And like, you know, the guy's lost it and he's throwing like a Muammar Gaddafi, right? He just like lost it, right? But I'm thinking just as equal is that this whole thing is his greatest acting performance ever, and it's working for him because people think like he's this and he's that, and they love the bad guy in America. America is infatuated with celebrity bad boys, right? It's in the blood. OJ became like the hero for America when he murdered people. I mean, it's like, this is America. It doesn't make sense, but it's in our DNA. We love this. We go crazy for this, right? This guy right now is worth so much more than he was worth a month ago. You know, he was in a maybe the biggest TV show on the network, on the air, right? Yeah. And how much is he worth? Whatever. He's worth 5 times that now because he can write his own ticket in any movie. Right now, who would you rather go see? Who would you rather go see right now? Tom Cruise, you know, and whatever. What's the next movie that's coming out? I don't know, right? It's like they're going to do some movie. Who would you rather see, Tom Cruise or Charlie Sheen, right? We're not thinking about who's the better actor. We want to see Charlie Sheen because that's all we care about. Like, this guy is bigger than life, right? This guy's huge, right? So I'm starting to think this whole thing is an acting job, and he's like done with that show, and he wants to get something even bigger than that show. And that's what I think is going on.
I see he's looking for a social media intern. So get your applications in, ladies.
Now, what was this thing that was on you wanted to talk about? You know, with this.
Well, I know that he was in good hands. Like, he was with the goddess Brie Olson, and Brie is very articulate. She gave me a great interview back in 2007.
It was 2007 you interviewed her, not this week. Because when I said you interviewed people this week, I thought it was.
No, that was 2007, and she's all natural. Like she's like a naturally busty woman. But
Okay.
the face of an angel.
Is she one of the Olsen twins?
No.
She's just same last name.
Yeah, she's got the face of an angel, but a body made for sin.
Okay.
And it's kind of that dichotomy of the angelic face,
All right.
and then the nasty, nasty, nasty thing she does on camera.
What has she got to do with him?
Well, she's the one, she's been with him last few weeks. She's
Oh, really?
one of his two main goddesses.
Oh, okay.
And so she's a really sweet girl. And I'd say if you've got to go, she's the one to go with. Like, so you and I were both looking for true love. Charlie's been lucky to find it with not just one, but two women. I mean,
well,
so many relationships.
He can afford to, you know.
So many relationships, so many people are lonely, so many people don't really love the one they're with, and so many people are out there looking to connect and looking for their bashert. And like Charlie's been lucky enough to find his.
Yeah.
And I know she just got arrested for drunk driving, and I know she
that's lovely.
I know she just walked out on Charlie, but
she walked out on him.
Yeah, she walked out. But I just hope that they can get back together because true love is a beautiful thing.
I say the threesomes don't work. Rabs will never do a threesome. Odd man out. It can't be healthy.
Okay, well I'll call Bree right back and tell her not to come over tonight after Torah talk.
All right.
Sorry, Bree.
So when you wrote that, is this the Masori you were talking about?
Yeah.
You meant the cheating, that it was cheating, that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. You know, you were talking about like the New York Post, and you said like, is that something that, you know, a from Jew can do? And I immediately think of what my own rabbi told me. He was a tremendous Talmud Chacham, and he said, because I asked him like, you know, is it okay like what I do stand-up comedy, and it's like, you know, I showed him the worst of it. I was very honest.
I showed him
the worst of it. No, I showed him the worst of it.
No.
Like the show I was in at the Comedy Store for 5 years, and like who all the characters were, and like the whole thing. And I showed him everything. I said, I spilled it all out. I said, this is who I am. Usher Heter. You know, I was like, you tell me. He said, you know what? When it comes to Parnassa, it comes up to it's up to the individual how much they can. Everybody has like their own threshold or whatever. Like, you know, maybe I'm pushing the envelope as far as you're concerned, but for me, if I can handle it, then you know, I'm not really doing anything usher. You can't say like, you know, it's not like I'm eating treif, you know, but you know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm doing anything usher. It's just that, oh my God, he's surrounded with like all these, you know, things, and you know, if you can handle it, it's up to the individual. So I mean, like, compared to me, someone who writes for like the tabloid, big deal. What's going on in there?
There's a picture of you on your Ustream channel.
Oh, yeah.
Where you're sitting on the toilet with your seat out.
Yeah.
And your pay is out.
Funny photo.
And I'm thinking, Chas v'shalom, here he is, a holy rabbi, and he's sitting on the toilet and posting a picture of it. It's like, oh, what a shanda for the goyim.
I know. Well, that's you.
But I was just wondering what your perspective is.
I'll want a whole story on that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's how that story came to be. I have a friend on Facebook, right? And he was posting on my wall and stuff all the time, and not so much now because he made aliyah, which means he made a mistake. So he had a photo on his profile photo one day. He made it, and he was sitting like on this porch, and he had like a shotgun in one hand and a beer in the other, right? And he was like laughing, you know. And this photo kept showing up on my wall, and I just felt like, you know what? I just got inspired one day, and I'm going to make fun of it, right? So I had a shotgun in one hand and a beer in the other, right? But instead of sitting on my front porch, I was sitting on the toilet. I'm like, oh, you know, and I just, you know, I took the photo, and I'm fully clothed in it, by the way. You know, it's not like I'm naked or anything. I'm fully clothed. I'm completely covered. And you know, we got a few giggles and a few laughs out of that. You know, like a bunch of people thought it was funny and stuff. And then some people said to me, that photo, we don't need to know the story. We don't need to know why you did it. It's a funny photo on its own, and you should run with it. And I started running with it, and I made it like my default one for YouTube. And it, you know, it's just.
Who took the photo?
I took it. You know, I set up.